Hey guys, so I recently passed 50,000 subscribers, thank you again, and in my video about that, I said that I would do a Q&A video. I've never done one of these before. To be honest, I feel a little bit weird doing it, but why not? So let's get to the questions. We Remotely Low, who I remember being around for a very long time, thank you, says, do you ever get nostalgic for early in your YouTube career? Do I ever get nostalgic for the early days of my channel? Yes. So it's really funny that you asked that, because lately I've been thinking about the times where like I kind of miss just like rushing home from work, and then the days where I would just be up really late in my bedroom, because that's where I filmed my videos, so it would be my bed and cables everywhere. And you know, I didn't have like a fancy SCART RGB setup, everything was through HDMI, and just trying to, you know, make the best of what I had, and you know, staying up till like 4 AM trying to beat a game, or, you know, stuff like that. It's like, it's just kind of like, aw, little Erin, I miss her. But I mean, not much has changed, really. I don't think. I mean, obviously there's a few more of you guys, so that's good. But you know what I mean. One thing I don't miss, though, is that, you know, recording back then sucked, because as I said, I'd sit on my bed. But I did it, so it didn't look like I was sitting on my bed. Like, I was real sneaky, and then some people thought I was, like, standing up while playing the game, which is really kind of crazy to me, because who the fuck does that? Yeah, I just sit on the edge of my bed, and then the monitor would be, like, super far away, and there'd just be cables, and I would trip, and then bad things would happen, like light bulb shattering while your fan's on, and you just have glass everywhere, and things like that I don't miss. I'm so much happier now with my space and my setup, and it's a big improvement. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, so my next question is from Trashboat. I like that username. Says, congrats Erin, is there any game that you have heard of and wanted to play that you can never find? Yes. I mean, I'm sure there's like more than this one, but this is the only one I can think of right now. Roller Coaster for the Backtracks. Is it called Roller Coaster? I'm sorry. It's called 3D Crazy Coaster. So it's for the Backtracks. I want it because I like theme parks, and it's like the Backtracks and a roller coaster combined. It does need the 3D imager though, so I also need that. So eventually I would like to find the 3D imager for the Backtracks and the game Crazy Coaster, and then I'd be set. Oh, well this isn't really a game. This is more like a thing in gaming that I would like to have. It's called a red tent machine, with one side is Mario Brothers, and I believe the other side is Excitebike, and that was like the first way I ever played Mario, and I just really like the way those look, so I would like one of those. Noob Boy asks, if you ever met an alien civilization, which video games would you pick to represent us? Dead or Alive. Because people just like big titties and everything's bad. Marcus, who's a Patreon, thank you so much, asks, how often are you on the lookout for games or toys to add to your collection, and how do you catalog them? Well, I don't catalog them. When it comes to games, I really should catalog them, but I don't know, I just don't. I mean, I don't have so many where it's like a pain in the ass to go look if I have something or not. So maybe if I had like a huge collection, then I would probably catalog it. But right now, if I'm like, oh, do I have this NES game? I just like get up and look, and they're all like up here. So not that hard. But am I always on the lookout for games and toys? I mean, not really. I guess. I don't know. It's like, if I'm in the mood to browse eBay, I'll browse eBay. Or, you know, like it's always fun to go to thrift stores or, you know, conventions and stuff. But I wouldn't say I'm like always actively searching for things, because then I would have too much stuff and have no money. Freddy fan asks, double question, ooh, what game have you yet to review that you've always wanted to? I thought of my answer. I've always wanted to review Barbie Supermodel on the Super Nintendo, just because that was one of the first games that I had as a kid, and I'm actually planning to do that soon. And then another answer. I feel like you guys are gonna be so disappointed. And I also want to review the Britney Spears Dance Beat games. Those are also coming up. I have the Game Boy Advance one. I have the Game Boy Advance one right here. So soon. this is happening. So those are my answers. I've been wanting to do a video on those pretty much since I started my channel. And at first I was like afraid to do anything that was like labeled as girly, but I'm like, you know what? I gotta do stuff that's like part of my experience, like things I want to talk about. I think you guys are down for anything, so those are my answers. Sotos asks, do you remember the first game you ever played and in which console? Okay, so the first game I ever played, I want to say, was at a steak restaurant with my grandpa, and it was either Miss Pac-Man or it was Mario on the red tent machine. But the first game I ever played on a console was at my friend's house, and it was a Super Nintendo, and we were playing Super Mario World, and that's kind of what lit the fire for me as a kid. I was like, I need a Super Nintendo. So, and that's how I got, and then after that I got my Super Nintendo, and of course I got Super Mario World. And if this is a little blurry, I'm sorry. I think I'm like leaning and then not leaning. I don't know. The next question's from Mark, who's also a Patreon. Thanks so much. You've been around forever. Says, congrats on 50K. What games are you not a fan of, but everyone else loves? I'm playing Symphony of the Night right now, and I am enjoying it, but in general, I'm not too big on Metroidvanias. I guess my main answer would be RPGs. I was never sucked into RPGs or point-and-click adventures. I just never could get into it. That being said, there are some games I would like to try, because I feel like I need to at least try some of these out. Like, I've never tried Chrono Trigger. I feel like I need to at least experience it a little bit. And then there's a Sailor Moon RPG that I just got an English translation for, so I'm gonna try that. But overall, I'm not a big fan of RPGs. And I'm sorry. I know people love them, and I know they're good. It's just, for me, personally, they never really appealed to me, you know? Okay, and the next question is from Pam from Cannot Be Tamed. So go subscribe to her channel if you haven't yet, because she does really good retro reviews, and sometimes she does modern stuff too. And yeah, check her out. She says, congrats on 50K. Your video format is really unique in the retro space, and that's really cool. Thank you. Is there a particular genre of games that you weren't really familiar with or a fan of before making these videos has made you appreciate more? Not since starting my channel did I really get into Castlevania, which is crazy, because now it's like my favorite thing. And that just goes to show that, you know, your tastes are always evolving and there's always new things to discover. So Castlevania would be my main answer. Shmups, I totally appreciate more, and I really enjoy them. Like right now I'm really into Gradius 3 and Sexy Proteus and stuff, and it's just like really cool because making these videos, you know, people recommend things, and it's amazing that I can ask a question on Twitter now and somebody will reply with a suggestion or an answer. It's just really cool. So I have really broadened my horizons by making this channel, which was one of the reasons I made this channel. I was like, I don't know, I just want to like talk about games, learn about games, all kinds of that stuff. So yes. Did that answer the question? I think it did. Zen says, I always enjoy your vids and content. Thanks so much. He asks, do you have any Twitch channels or YouTube shows that you really enjoy watching personally? Yes, there are a lot of YouTube channels and Twitch channels that I watch regularly. Of course, Cinemasker, GameSack, Classic Game Room. I know he doesn't make content anymore. Well, he makes content, but not gaming content anymore. I also like Octavius Kitten, and then when it comes to other stuff, like I really like Dead Mall videos. So like Ace's Adventures is probably my favorite. Sometimes Dan Bell, stuff like that. And then there's some, you know, beauty channels I like. And as for Twitch, Mike Matei Live, of course, and Hungry Garaya, she does a lot of retro streams like I do, but more RPGs, so you'll get your RPG fix with her. Who else do I watch? I like Cody, DS Koopa, Voltar's streams are very good, so there's a lot of people on both YouTube and Twitch that I enjoy watching. Jamie asks, hey Erin, how did you get introduced to older systems like the Vectrex or the Intellivision? The internet! I wish I had a more exciting answer, but when I started, like around 2007, I started, you know, that's when I would watch AVGN and stuff, and then I was in college, and then by the time I was getting to my mid to late 20s, I started diving deeper into my retro gaming hobby, and then, you know, just looking around the internet, I was like, ooh, the Vectrex? I honestly don't remember what got me really into the backtracks. I really wish I did. But I remember I learned about the Intellivision from AVGN. I probably learned about the backtracks that way too. I don't know. I wish I remembered because I love the backtracks. You know what? It was probably the AVGN Star Trek episode. So yeah, AVGN basically. Jose asks, so you like The Office? What do you think about the UK version? What are other shows you like? Yeah, I know like everyone and their mom loves The Office now, but I like the American Office a lot. It's comfy. It feels like home. It makes me happy. The UK version, I remember trying to watch it in high school and I couldn't get into it, but I know some people really like it, so maybe I'll give it another chance. But what other shows do I watch? I don't watch a lot of shows. But shows I keep coming back to throughout the years, I'd say Daria, My So-Called Life. I also really like to watch Sailor Moon. I'm rewatching that right now, so it's really exciting. Chaos Poet asks, what old classic system do you not have that you would like to have? You can include computers like the Amiga or MSX, for example. Yes, there are some classic systems that I don't have that I would like to. The MSX is one of them. But more than that, I have to look, I can't remember the whole name. It's like the pink Master System. It's called the Tectoy Master System, girl. I really want that. And another thing is the Super Lady Cassette Vision. I just love weird old consoles and I would love to add those to my collection one day. So hopefully that'll happen. I'm gonna say your name wrong, but Jay Gertzen asks, what's your favorite Mario Kart game of all time? I really like the Super Nintendo one. I remember getting that in an Easter basket as a kid. But I think the one that I had the most memories playing was Mario Kart 64. Mario Kart Wii is also good. Mario Kart 64, let's just say that. And that's really weird because I don't have a lot of favorite things on the Nintendo 64. Jedi Windex, I like your username, asks, have you played any of the newer indie retro-esque stuff lately, like Blazing Chrome or River City Girls? Yeah, Blazing Chrome, that was really anticipated for multiple years. I remember thinking, oh, this looks cool because it's like Contra. I like Contra. So yes, I played Blazing Chrome. I really like that. River City Girls I played. I'm not super big on beat 'em ups because I suck at them and they kill my hands. But I have played that. I think it's a cool vibe. What was that one called? Mini Doom 2. I really liked that. I did a video on that from a few years back. And of course, probably the ones that are my favorite are the Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. It's basically more Castlevania 3. So I freaking love it. And then there's the new one coming out. So I'll totally be playing that one too. Retro Faith asks, if you could meet one person from the industry to chat with, who would it be? I guess I would have to say that if I could talk to anybody, it would probably be people who worked on designing the levels and characters in Yoshi's Island. Because the enemies are just, there's so many different enemies and they're all very unique. And I want to know if they had names from the start or if they were named later, oh yeah, they were always named this or whatever. Because there's just so many. I don't know, that's something I think about. And of course it would be cool to talk to some of the people that worked on Castlevania 3 because that's another old-time favorite game of mine. So that's what I would like to do. David asks, would you rather be chased by pirates or ninjas? Well, I have a very good and thought out answer for you, David. I would rather be chased by pirates. Okay, I don't run very fast, but pirates have peg legs and they're always drunk, right? So I feel like you have a better chance of getting away from a pirate than a ninja because ninjas are really stealth and fast and sneaky and I wouldn't stand a chance. Brandon asks, what advice would you give to someone who wants to create their own retro community through streams, Twitter, and YouTube in a market that seems very saturated? I mean, there's always room for another if you are hardworking, creative, and entertaining, right? That's a hard question to answer. My advice would be do it as a hobby. Only do what you want to do, make the videos you want to do. Don't just make a video on something because you feel like you have to because it's topical or popular. Because if you start doing that, you will burn out. At least in my opinion. Also, think of it as a hobby. don't go into it thinking you're gonna make money or, like, have it become a job, because there's a big chance it couldn't, you know? As long as you go into it being passionate and, you know, doing it because you like the research, or you like the streaming, or you like, you know, hanging out with people on the internet, then, you know, do it for reasons that make you happy. Don't do it because you think it can be like a get-rich-quick scheme, because it's really not. Especially retro gaming. You gotta do it because you like it. I'm not gonna read the whole username because I don't know how to say it, but JP asks, can you tell us fans the first time you were inspired to make videos after working at Taco Bell? I've never worked at Taco Bell. I don't know where you got that, but I've never worked at Taco Bell. I got inspired to make videos because I watched, you know, I watched a lot of YouTube. And I was like, I need a creative outlet. And I was like, I was also thinking for a few years of doing like a Disney related YouTube channel. I'm like, no, I'm not really, I don't know if I feel like doing that. And then I kept thinking, you know what? Like, I watch a lot of retro game content, and I felt like there was nobody out there that I could really, that really had like the same point of view or outlook as me, that was doing things exactly how I'm doing it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start a gaming channel. And then I did. It took me a while, but I eventually worked up the courage to do it. So, yeah. If I did work at Taco Bell, though, I really like the frozen Baja Blast. So, like, I would drink those a lot. Richard asks, is it terribly stressful maintaining a social media presence and constantly producing content? Yup. Like, it's not awful or anything. It's just, there's some days where I'm like, wow, I really don't have energy, and I can't feel like streaming or making a video sounds really hard today, but you just gotta kind of do it. And I'm trying to get better at being more consistent, and I'm trying to get better at managing my time, and, you know, you get used to it. The social media part, though, yeah, it's like, I don't really have a hard time with Twitter, but it's like Instagram. Sometimes I'm just like, I'll post a selfie and I'll be like, why did I post that? I feel dumb. So basically, yeah, it can get a little stressful, but you just gotta realize you can only tackle one thing at a time, and just kind of go at your own pace, and don't worry about like keeping up with other people. Just do it at your own pace. Tyler Dobbs asks, what other hobbies do you have besides old video games? It's funny because like video games have taken up so much of my like life the past few years that it's like, what else? I used to answer going to Disneyland, but I don't live in the same state as Disneyland anymore, and now that's not really a thing to do. I like researching old Disney park stuff, and I like I like looking through like 80s interior design like books and like just things online. I don't know, it's just like it calms me down. I like looking through like old 80s like interior design, malls, stuff like that. And I also like watching dead mall videos and researching them, because I don't know, I've been into that for a very long time, probably as long as I have been in gaming. I'm just like an overly nostalgic, sentimental person. And for the longest time I was like, I'm gonna write a book about the mall that I grew up with. And it's like, and then when I started actually thinking about all the work that would go into it, it was so overwhelming, because, you know, you'd have to go to like libraries and like just try to find old articles and like floor plans and stuff. Like, I don't know. So yeah, that's a hobby. And then sometimes just watching like makeup tutorials I find soothing. I don't know. So I guess, yeah, that's my answer. Alternity28 asks, so Nintendo totally remade the 8-bit era Link's Awakening for the Switch. What 8-bit classics would you like to see get the same treatment? That's a good question. Like the Proteus games, maybe? Or, you know, of course, Castlevania, like the original Castlevania. T-Dog asks, would you ever consider dyeing your hair a different color? Maybe try yellow? Not blonde, yellow in all caps. Actually, I think I was like in high school, when I was blonde, I had a few streaks of yellow in my hair. And I gotta say, yellow does not fade, at least for my hair. It stayed vibrant. It was amazing. I don't know if I could do my whole head yellow. Maybe if I did like, you know, mostly like platinum blonde with some yellow. that would look kind of cool, but that would like destroy my hair trying to go that light. So for now, it's red and various shades of orange and pink, but I'm into that. Alright guys, so that is it for the Q&A. I didn't get to all the questions because I didn't want this to be super long, and I suck at talking like this for long periods of time. So I hope you guys found this entertaining and not too awkward, and I will be back again very soon with some more game-related content. Anyway, have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!